Welcome to the Basics of Reg360, Part 3. In this session, we're going to discuss finalizing our registration of our recently imported RTC360 data. The first thing I'm going to talk about is link appearance. As you can see, my links are all green, but there are three possible colors for your links to be: green, yellow, and red. And this will all be set up under your link appearance depending on what you have down for your maximum error for each color. In this case, since this is a topographic survey, I have 3.5 hundredths set as my maximum error for green links. So the first thing that I usually like to do, particularly because we are going to end up registering this to control, is to not go overboard with my crosslinks. So the one thing I do want to do is I want to close out my loop. But in order to do this, I'm usually going to lock all of these existing links because I don't want the software to readjust all of them. I want to know what my actual closure error is, and this last link will give me that. So by going up top and selecting the rectangular fence and selecting those setups, and then coming down to the bottom and selecting visual alignment, it's going to open up those two setups so that I can view them. First, I'll look at a building over here, and then I'll usually come across to the complete opposite side and just look. And you can see the horizontal looks pretty good. So I'm going to look at the side view. In the side view, I can come up top here to the rotate cloud, and I can rotate it around to get a good look. And I usually start at one side and just slowly kind of pan across to make sure that everything is aligned vertically across the entire site. In this case, again, it is. So I'm just going to hit join and optimize. Now I can click OK, and a couple more times. And you can see now it's closed out my loop. And if I select this link, the error in this link is going to tell me what my closure error was. So you can see here, I have a cloud to cloud between those two of basically 3 hundredths. And I got a global error now of 6 thousandths of a foot. So if I was happy with that, which for a topographic survey for right now I am, I'm going to go ahead and lock this link as well. A couple other things to talk about of importance here is if I click on any one of these links, you're going to see over here it's going to tell me my overlap percentages and the length of the link. And as I go through and click on these, 42%, 43%, 38%, 61%, 48%, and 43%, all of those are good. I mean, usually I like to have a minimum of at least 25 to 30% of overlap percentage, because if you start getting anywhere near underneath that, you're going to start noticing that your link errors just aren't probably going to be acceptable for what you're trying to do. One last thing that I'll usually do before I actually import my control is to come down here and just look at the bundle cloud real quick. Inside of here, I'm just, again, looking for anything that alarms me of any kind of misalignment. So if you look at poles, you're usually going to be trying to see if there's 2 poles anywhere. And I'll even come down way past my project limits here and even look at some of these just to make sure that there's no misalignments anywhere. And again, I don't see any right now, so I'm going to come back to the sitemap view. And before we actually look at the true slicer, I want to select my bundle, then come back down and select true slicer. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and usually what I do is I change my thickness down here at the bottom first. And then you can also adjust your location with this bar. So in this case, I'm going to look at this building down here first, and as you can see, all the scans are colored different colors. All the scans are pretty much on top of each other from what I can see. And then I'll zoom out again, and I'll move this true slicer up a little bit until I get to the building across the street, which is about right there. And again, I'll just come in and look at that. And again, that looks good. And then zoom out one more time and check this building right across the street over here. And right there. And again, that looks good as well. We can also change this to the y-axis, and I'll go back to my orthographic view. And again, just move our location through here and, zoom in a little bit here and zoom our way down the street. And you can see that there's no double lines or anything. And then if I wanted to check my x-axis as well, I can also do that. And again, just move up and down the street.